All three is rolling. All three rolling.
Hey.
We rolling.
We rolling.
That's what you gonna do?
We rolling.
So
yes.
which one is it? Rock, paper, or scissors?
It's rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, so what's the rock?
This the rock.
Okay. Where's the paper?
Paper.
No, that's not what you did. That's new. That's something real new. Okay. Okay.
Paper.
And then so what's this? What's this? This is scissors?
Scissors.
Okay. Jay, that's rolling.
So Q, we might need to reconfigure the guest, the co-host for the podcast.
Right. You know, at least we got the pilot, okay?
True.
Right.
We got a photo shoot in there.
Right.
We got some BTS.
We rolling those, so that's all that matters.
Oh,
okay.
that boy know what behind the scenes stands
First of all, be loyal.
Okay.
Be loyal.
Facts. So we're gonna transition. We're gonna pivot.
All right.
Unlike how you was loyal to me at the wedding. We're gonna talk about that.
I'm on another level. 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 I'm on another level.
What's up, y'all? Jeremy here, man. Look, man, Crystal,
Shade.
Mike, love y'all. Appreciate y'all rocking with me.
My God.
So for those that don't know, that's been following the journey, for years I've been asking people, people been asking me rather, you gonna do a podcast? You gonna do a podcast? And I'm like, yeah, because I got one for teachers, but this is a different type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like this one here can be kind of like all of me and my people. And so Mike, I'm excited about you joining me on this journey, you know what I'm saying, as a co-host, kind of rocking with us with the podcast because we go back.
Facts.
Like when I first met you, boy, hey, Crystal, you don't know this, when I first met Mike, that boy had a perm. Hair down his back.
First of all, what are you doing? What are you doing right now?
Okay, now I'm about to affirm you, bro. He was fresh. He literally had better hair than most of the girls on campus. So let me just say that.
Let me see what perm potential you had.
I don't look
So
like
he permed
what
it out. He turned it off. That's
He
what
don't look like what he's been through.
I don't look like what I've been through.
He
Okay.
burnt it out.
Right. But even after that, you know, after college, you know, me and Mike really grew a bond because when I first came back to God, you know, I was out here struggling a little bit. But when I first got realigned with my purpose, I was active in the local church, was doing a lot of outreach and stuff like that. Mike was like first one on the scenes. Remember we had the shirts. We'd be out in communities, knocking on doors, feeding people, clothing people, like really looking out.
Yeah.
And you've really been kind of taking this journey with me through the years.
Appreciate that.
Traveled with me to South Africa, just all over. Every city we pull up into, Michigan, you know what I'm saying, like Cali, like wherever we were at on tour, you were always there. So it made sense. Yeah. And you come with a certain energy too, so don't hold back. That's love. It's weird. It's like I want you on your best behavior, but don't hold back. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm going to try to balance it well. And I know you know how to tell me to relax and get in line when I need to.
I think we should pray.
I think we need to.
No, yeah, you're gonna be Gucci.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be Gucci. And Crystal, let me tell you about my cousin. Flesh in my flesh, blood in my blood. She about that life. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my cousin, like real cousin. You know how some people like play cousins? Like, no, this real family. And I felt Crystal would be super dope on the podcast. She's experienced so much life, working for Sony and been in the music industry for years.
Oh, that's dope.
Now doing her own thing. I look up one day she in Dubai riding camels. Then the next week I look up she had the Rock Nation brunch.
That's
you know
sick.
what I'm saying? Like
That's
just
dope.
experiencing life on that next level.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see what conversation we can curate. So welcome.
Thank you. Man, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
I just can't wait. You know we about to get lit in here.
Oh, you are?
So I'm just excited.
We going up for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But while we talking about that, I just feel like for the people, I feel like let's kind of let them know what to expect from Next Level Living. So from the people's perspective, Jay, can you tell the people what they can expect from the Next Level Living podcast?
Yeah, so I think that the biggest thing, right, when people look and ask like what Next Level Living is, like for me, it's the constant pursuit to be everything we've been called to be. Like I feel like God has made all of us fearfully and wonderfully made. Yeah. It's an amazing plan He has for all of us. But sometimes people settle. So we're gonna curate conversation.
Talk about it.
We're gonna curate conversation
okay.
to see like what it looks like to go to that next level. What it looks like to be phenomenal, to be special, spectacular, to be epic, like and not be average. Like always grateful but never settle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the type of conversation we can curate. And they gonna see the full us.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, they see a lot of my videos when I'm traveling and speaking and motivating on stage, rah, rah, rah. And like I could turn it up, but I'm a goofball.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like I can, I got a little sense of
The
humor.
people need to know that
Yeah,
you're a real person.
Yeah, they gonna catch the fullness of me. And I think
y'all-
about my boy Toby.
Yeah.
And Toby was just like, man, what's most liberating about life is when you can be your authentic self.
Yeah, that's
And I think like now, because a lot of times when I put content on social media, I'm always thinking about, all right, what's gonna bless the people? Like what's gonna motivate the people?
Yep.
And I feel like God's saying like, Negro, you just being you gonna bless the
being
people.
You know what's crazy is that
Hey.
you being you, I had to learn at an early age that I was okay being me before it was cool. I'm talking about when I was ostracized for it. Now, it made me question whether or not I was who I was supposed to be. Was I being offensive because I was in different areas of life or in different audiences, different experiences, and my personality wasn't embraced everywhere.
Right.
So not only that, but I was always the friend who was not trying to do what everybody else was doing. So I wasn't on the same vibe as everybody else, and I had to become very confident and asserting of myself being who I was. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the ninja crawl that Shaquan is doing right now.
With the what?
He next level.
Behind the scenes.
Oh,
next
yeah,
level
yeah,
Ninja crawl.
crawling.
Y'all can't see it. But my man
Did you-
next
what'd you
level.
say?
Next level crawling.
I'm weak.
My man. Y'all ever see like the people like in the
Scale the
movie, like
wall.
those spy movies?
Yeah.
When they trying to get in the vault and they got like the laser beams.
Oh, yeah.
My man out here. I just next level. I appreciate that.
No,
though.
but like, give me an example when you feel like you couldn't be yourself.
Listen, if I'm being keeping it 100, if we going next level with this thing
we
for
are,
real,
yeah.
for real,
Mhm.
high school.
Yeah.
So I was always raised in Christian school, right?
Uh-huh.
But my dad worked in the middle of probably one of the biggest gang neighborhoods in Kansas City.
Uh-huh.
So it was it was a big disconnect because I would go from being in church or church school all day long,
Right.
and then I would get dropped off in the middle of the hood, in the middle of projects. You know what I'm saying? So the people in the projects would be looking at me and looking at the people on the bus with me like, bro, who them squares on the bus with you?
Yeah.
And the people on the bus would be looking at me like, Mike, you not afraid to get off here? And I'm sitting there trying to let everybody know that everybody cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey, bro, they good. Hey, bro, they good. Like,
Right.
not only do I feel safe, but these are the reasons why I do.
Right.
It's because of the people that are right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are my brothers and stuff like that. But when I got to high school, even in the church, it was a disconnect, because of racial differences. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a black majority of people. So the institution where I was at, they really had a hard time controlling or quieting my personality. And I think that really stressed people. And because of that, I got in trouble for a lot of stuff that I didn't know or didn't realize. And it made me want to act out more. You know what I'm saying? But what I think balanced that was when I got to college with the same personality and it was embraced.
Yeah.
And it confused me. Because I was just like, wait, I just got in trouble for this. Y'all want me to keep speaking? And it's a difference when somebody tries to quiet you and when somebody celebrates you. Because when I started being celebrated for my personality, I started being more intentional about making sure I put on and making sure I was making people proud of me.
Yeah.
Because now it's like, whoever this is supporting me, I want to make sure you always look good.
But you always, bro, you always had the juice. You always had that big personality.
Yeah.
Which is why whenever somebody is going to get married or something, or somebody to have an event, like you were always the go-to.
And that's crazy. You know, I've actually started speaking because of somebody asking me to do their wedding before I had experience. And I was just like, bro, this is your biggest day. You want to use me for that?
When you
Shout out to
signed-
Bam and CC.
Yeah.
I see y'all.
When you signed up, he signed up for our Speakers Academy.
Facts.
Yeah, so for those listeners that don't know, so I've been traveling and speaking on a professional level, for 11 years. And I recently started the Speakers Academy to kind of show other people like they got a message, they got a gift. So when Mike signed up for it, I was like, oh, he about that life.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I felt the love, but I didn't feel the love when he played me at that wedding.
Hey, I feel like Jay got something on his chest.
Let's get into it.
Please.
Let's get into it. What happened?
I promise I'm gonna go motivational in just a minute, but I just want to just say, like, you know what I'm saying? You threw me under the bus a little bit.
Bruh.
First off, I went to speak. You know what I'm saying? I had a speaking engagement. I just got back, got settled, was going to my man's wedding. My man hit me the morning of the wedding, and I saw the message, but I was in bed with Tracy. I was like, maybe he got like pregame jitters, so like let me pour into my man. My man was like, bruh, Mike ain't gonna be to make it. I need you to be the MC. I'm like, bro, I'm really trying to be low key. Because sometimes going to those type of events can be weird. If you don't remember people's name, they remember my name. Man, Jeremy, what's up, man?
And you like, am I
You know
gonna
what I'm
say the
saying?
wrong
And then I gotta
thing?
introduce them to my wife. And then it's real awkward when people be like, you remember my name?
So,
Like, bro, if you gotta ask them,
And then
I
you be
definitely
like,
don't.
hey, Tracy,
I
ask them their
definitely don't
name so
remember
I
their
remember
name.
their
Right.
name.
It's the worst. It's the
You
worst.
gotta
It's the
ask
worst.
the next
And I don't
person
do
ask
well
their
with small
name.
put that
talk.
pressure on your wife.
Yes.
So I really just want to kind of be at the wedding and be behind the scenes in the cut.
Yeah.
So when my man, I was like, bro, can you ask this person? Can you ask that person?
Yeah.
My man tried to gas me up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sam. I love the kid. Sam was like, man, can't nobody do it like you do it. I said, actually, Mike Moss can. And he was like, yeah, but Mike can't make it. So I'm like, all right. So I go and I do my thing. And you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing. I'm on the mic. You know what I'm saying? We loosen the people up. We having a good time. I look up. Mike walked through the door. My man caught a flight, flew in from Costa Rica, and came on the scene. So I'm like, bet. So I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do a quick handoff. I'm about to just connect you with my people.
He was about to throw me a oop. I was excited.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do a smooth transition, and me and Tracy about to slide out anyway. You know what I'm saying? And so I introduced, I'm like, yo, y'all, this Mike, he gonna be taking over from here. Y'all show him some love. So I'm talking. But then the father of the bride,
That's what it was.
the father of the bride, they Nigerian.
Uh-huh.
And so the father of the bride was like, I have these cola nuts, Kola, cola nuts. It's like an actual nut.
All
and he's
right.
like, we cut the nut in small pieces and you eat it. And I guess it's like for good luck, but it gives you energy.
Yeah.
So I'm up in front of the people. I'm like, hey, anybody else can use a little cola nut tonight? You know what I'm saying? To be like a little jokey, a clean, light little joke.
Why you laugh, Crystal? Why did you laugh? What was funny about the cola nut? Why did you laugh?
Because it gives you energy.
No, that's not funny though. So she's chuckling about something. Why don't you tell us what you think is funny about it?
No. I'm trying to listen to the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
think
before
it's
you
Why
funny.
you being
When you said
dismissive,
you had to
dog? Can I tell the
chop the
story?
little cola nut into little pieces.
Yep.
And so I'm just imagining where this story is going. So
Right, and so I'm-
laughing.
and
But
so
she's laughing ahead of time. I ain't even threw you under the bus yet, right?
Oh, it's
But she's
coming.
already thinking it's funny. You know why? Because
what?
she's already thinking about where
The
you're
comments,
going.
the people
Take us there.
are gonna go in the comments
Take us
and they're
there.
gonna tell us whether
Matter
or
of
not
fact, hey,
we threw me under the
hey,
bus.
hey, right now in the comments,
hadn't
just say
happened
I'm
yet.
with Mike or I'm with Jeremy. Like
hadn't
you
happened
can
yet.
just say it right
Q,
now. Like keep it
Q,
100
do you
with
hear
him.
this foolishness? All right, so let me real quick.
I know
So I'm talking,
I won.
and everything is great. And the father comes and presses me. It's like, Jeremy, I still have a lot of these cola nuts left. Remind the people to come and get their piece of cola nut. So I'm like, I grabbed the mic. I said, look, y'all, before I give it to Mike, I need to make sure that all of y'all come up here and get a piece of your cola nut. It's important that everybody tonight gets their nut.
Oh, what's wrong? Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? Oh,
'Cause I want them to get their cola
Crystal's
nut.
dying. But Mike ain't
So
even into the
Mike-
story yet.
Mike-
No. I think this moment is important.
Wait.
No, enjoy
Hold on.
yourself.
Let me ask this question. What these people say? What these people
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great question.
It's a room full of church folk, lots of prestigious pastors. And so Mike grabs the mic.
Woo.
Mike grabs the mic and said, whoa, Jeremy, everybody get their nut? Seriously, Jeremy? And I'm just like,
But you know what? I would have said the
A
same
lot of
thing.
the-
I'm not
Thank
even
you.
gonna lie.
Thank you, Dave.
but see, it
Thank
was
you.
one of them jokes where it was only a group of people, maybe between 18 and 40, was
Actually
like rocking
kinda-
with me, listening. But
Which
when
is-
he comes back and
which is
says,
95% of the
really,
crowd.
So
Jeremy?
you just like drove
Really,
it
Jeremy?
home. You
Everybody
making
should get
sure
their
they
nut?
heard that.
I just dropped a subliminal. I didn't say like that. I said, Jeremy, is everybody else? I said, there's a lot of people in here saved. Be careful how you say your
It was
sentence.
bad. It was bad. I'm thinking like, yo,
And
he
then,
just
of
threw me
course,
under the
people
bus.
erupted more because they already thinking like that. They just like, oh, yeah, go get your
But
nut.
how
Thinking
many
like
people
what? It was
heard
literally
the
a
first
nut.
time? How many people heard the
Everybody
first
You
time?
heard
had a
that.
dirty mind.
What
I'm a
happened?
man of God.
You said what?
You got a dirty mind.
You got
There's a whole bunch of
dirty
married
mind.
couples there. That's clean as it gets.
You wouldn't call it. Okay, I'm not gonna go there.
Go ahead.
I mean, all I'm gonna say is he said it once. That was good enough. But
Exactly.
you had to emphasize it though.
Oh, Crystal, don't
The
switch
emphasis-
sides now.
It's the fact.
You can't
You
do that.
emphasized it, took it to
Nah.
another level.
Crystal, you already made a
it's all about
decision.
next level living, so I guess that's what we're
Yeah.
doing.
You
huh?
told me that you was with me already, so everything
But
else is
I
thrown out
gave
of
you
court.
grace. Yeah. But and here's the crazy thing. I thought I was doing my thing, and I quickly left.
Yeah.
I checked the Instagram. Mike got grandmamas on the floor twerking. He turned the party all the way up.
Nigerian twerk. This the holy twerk.
Oh, that Nigerian
holy
twerk
twerk.
different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
And you
that
know they
look
make it
like?
rain on each other for like customary.
Yeah. What that
No,
look like?
listen to me.
Oh, they was
the father
going
had
crazy.
me announced like 3 times to come and get your one.
Yeah.
They was like, yo,
What?
they had a duffel
If you had
bag
big
full
Sorry.
of
they were
money.
cashing
I'm
people
sorry,
out.
I missed this part.
Listen to me.
oh, yeah.
They had a duffel bag
They're going
full of
hard.
So
money.
it sounded like y'all was right on point with what y'all was saying then.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So in today's episode of Next Level Living, we're gonna talk about something. I just thought. No, but for real.
Listen.
Yeah. No,
That part.
they were celebrating. But we're gonna talk about marriage
Yeah.
on the
Yes.
podcast. We're gonna talk about finances. We're gonna talk about wealth.
Can we talk about
We're
engagement?
gonna talk about mental health. Ooh.
Let's talk about
That's-
relationships in
that's a-
general.
That's like halfway married, halfway not. Like
That's
that.
true.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
Can we
a
talk
tough
about?
one.
I want to talk about engagement, pre-engagement too.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna
It's
talk
a
about
lot.
that.
All right, let's talk
Yeah,
about
we're
it.
gonna talk about that. It's gonna be good. So I'm
Talk about
excited, man.
breakups.
Let's talk about single life too.
Right,
Let's talk about
it all.
quarantine life. Let's
Yeah.
talk about quarantine relationships.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So I'm
Ooh.
excited. Quarantine relationship.
Listen, please.
Yeah.
And
that's-
how many people still together? Because we in what 2021 now.
And we're
Who
still
made it
waiting.
through 2020?
And we're still waiting to get that data because they say that it was already savage when it came to divorce before the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But maybe we can kind of share.
Oof.
I would like to hear from y'all. Like, what have you learned?
Yeah.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying? How did you grow from the pandemic?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're on the other side now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you grow from the pandemic, A? And then, you know what I'm saying, what changed within you?
Oh, I
Mm.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who wanna go first?
Personally, or
Crystal,
like
please
in a
start.
relationship.
Just period. Yeah. The relationship, just personally, like, what did you learn about yourself?
Yeah.
And how did you grow?
Yeah.
Personally, I had to challenge myself to new routines because it's tough when you know you have to go to a job every day. You know you got to set your alarm to wake up at a certain time. But when you're in quarantine, you have to make sure you're up, you're doing your work, but you don't let your work just consume your life because then that leads into a whole nother set of depression. It's like you're always on. Okay, 10 o'clock at night, you still feel like you're at work because you never had a change of scenery.
Yeah.
You just had, a change in time, but you're still at the mindset of, I need to be working because I'm at home.
Yeah.
And that part was the toughest to get through. And once I got through that, I was like, okay, I never really fully got through that because I'm in music. And in music, you work 24/7 anyway. But I did have to tell myself, you know what? I'm going to start working at 9. And after 6 o'clock, I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to go get dinner. And if somebody contacts me at dinner, I have to say I'm at dinner. Now, I can't feel uncomfortable saying that because I do need to make sure that I have time for my relationship. I have time for myself because if I don't, and I do the same thing the next morning when I wake up,
Right.
I then start to decline in my personal health, mental health, physical health, all that stuff.
So you had to start setting
I
boundaries?
had to start setting boundaries and better routines. And I also had to start getting sunlight. I was in a dark apartment that didn't have much sunlight. And I noticed like my mood would just change and I wasn't like excited.
That's crazy.
I wasn't as like, energetic as I normally was. So once I got into, I moved into another apartment. Once I moved into a new apartment with sun, I felt so much better. The environment is like so good for you.
Yeah, for
Sun, air, fresh air, all those things are very important for your overall health. And so I had to learn how important all those things was during quarantine. I had to learn how important they were.
True.
Yes.
So my ADHD won't let me be great, and I love what you were saying, but I cannot remember the exact question to start my thing off again. So what we're gonna do is, I'm not gonna sit here and play
What
myself and
did
try
you
to start
learn
because that was
last
too
year?
good.
What did
My
you
man
learn?
said my ADHD won't let me
It won't let me be great. While you was finishing up, I was like, "Oh, that was good." Okay, Mike, which one was?
Yeah.
You know what?
So what did you learn about yourself?
There we go.
And how did you grow through the
Okay.
pandemic? Because everybody's talking about how hurtful and painful and frustrating and depressing the pandemic was. Okay, but how we grow?
Yeah.
Right? Because we still
Yeah.
here.
Absolutely.
We
Like
still
folks,
here.
we still standing. We still strong. Ain't nobody left. Well, and no disrespect to those who lost loved ones,
Yeah,
but I'm
for
saying
sure.
like for those of us that are still in the land of the living that are complaining and talking about how rough it was, we're obviously still here. So I would like for you to share with the people, like how did you grow from the pandemic and maybe what you learned about yourself?
So number one, let's start with what I learned. Number one, what I learned about myself is that I am not afraid to ask for help. Like, that's huge for me because so many times when people, I'm not going to even say that I assumed that I was strong, but sometimes when people assume that you're strong, they think that you only operate in a sense of strength, right? And so what happens is that when you start walking in that element for so long, you start to accept the strength that people placed on you. Not that you even might have had, but that someone else placed on you. So a lot of times I felt myself struggling and not wanting to ask for help because I didn't want to let someone down who saw me as strong or stop being strong for somebody else
got you.
who
Okay.
needed me. You know what I'm saying? So
Ooh.
by the time I found out I was depressed, I had already been depressed 3 times. So I learned that it's okay to ask for help. Now, this is on the back end, you know, because number one, what I realized is that I've done therapy and I support therapy completely. I actually think it's one of the most life-changing things I've ever done. And I preach this. Go ahead.
And I got somebody for you from our previous conversation too.
Okay,
I got
perfect.
you. So
I appreciate
just
that.
wanna just,
Perfect. So I actually support that, especially with us Black people. You know, like we don't look at it the same way. And for myself, like I needed to talk to somebody else.
Right.
Me holding on to all of that while going through it was too much.
Yeah.
It was way too much. So for me, getting to the point, and one thing I realized was that travel was something I used as therapy, but it was taken from me because of COVID.
Yeah.
So listen, my everyday life is a little unorthodox, kind of like Crystal's. I'm always on the go. So
your middle name is Frequent Flyer. Mike Frequent Flyer
real.
Moss.
Okay.
You global.
How many miles you got?
A lot.
Listen,
What's your status?
listen, the miles I get, I don't even get credit for. They tell me I'm not even eligible for miles because
love it.
I have to
You got
travel
so
so
many.
much. Like I don't even get that. But go ahead.
So you feel like quarantine, you was pushed away, you wasn't able to really connect, and when you kind of felt like I should reach out, you kind of pulled back because you was like, man, I don't want to not necessarily look weak, like you trying to pose, but you like, man, they may be struggling too.
Yep.
So let me not focus. Let me not put what I got going on them.
Yeah.
Let me just try to weather this thing out myself.
But
go ahead.
also I think it's important to, because you touched on the therapy part of it, and in our communities, therapy is frowned upon a little bit.
Right.
And we already got so much like stacked up against us, and we're like, okay, do we really want us being in therapy on our record? Like if we, are in a situation where they have to do a background check, like if therapy comes up, do they think I'm,
Crazy.
inequipped to handle this situation? Do they think I'm, incompetent in certain situations?
True.
So it's like therapy for us is like, all right, can we do it in a safe place to where it doesn't feel like it's going to come back to bite us?
Yeah.
Or, are we even able to do this without anyone judging us for it? So therapy is something that we do need to eventually get into, like deeper into.
Yeah, for sure.
What you mean by that? A lack of trust.
I think even when it comes to especially, people of color, even going to the doctor. So we're gonna talk about that on some podcasts too, because that is a thing.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you recognized it, because I imagine there's probably millions of people that were spiraling that's still trying to figure out, why do I feel this way, and don't even realize like they functioning depressed.
Yeah.
It's hard to be the first person to admit that you need help around you.
Yeah.
Because everyone is operating in a sense of being okay. So when you start to feel it, you already feel worse about the fact that you are about to admit that you're not okay. When everybody's giving you credit for being strong.
Yeah.
You know who fuels that?
You said what?
Social media.
Yeah,
Social media.
for sure.
Bro, folks be out here making it seem like everything is perfect. And I'm like, man, just talk about your challenges.
Yeah.
So when I be speaking, people are like, oh, you're so powerful, you're so relatable. I'm not really that deep. I'm just transparent.
Yeah.
I don't mind talking about my struggles, depression, anxiety, feeling a certain type of way, the mistakes I made from the past.
Yeah.
I'm open. You know what I'm saying? Like the truth shall set us free. You know what I'm saying? I believe that the more that we share our truth, you know what I'm saying? So imagine had you, and I'm sure you were vocal, and I know you were fasting for a time from social media, which is hella healthy.
Yes.
But imagine if you went to the gram and was just like, hey, y'all, I'm gonna check off for a while. I've been dealing with severe depression. I'm just gonna back up. I'll come back and tap in with y'all in a couple of months. Y'all pray for me. I'm about to get some counseling. How would that free other people?
Yes, but wait, something you said, I'm healing from like depression, right? So someone told me recently, I can't remember who it was, but they were like, there's a difference from healing from trauma and healing from depression. Depression is like something that's like apparent in here and now. But trauma is something that you've had for a long time and you've never healed from.
Wow.
And you need to heal from that. And you can't label it as depression because healing from depression is completely separate treatment plan than healing from trauma.
Do you get healed from depression or released from depression?
See,
First of all,
I'm thinking.
But the thing is
my
that we don't even know how to distinguish the two right now. Is something traumatic? Are you traumatized from people talking about you all your life because you had a certain issue? Or are you depressed because you have that issue? You're most likely traumatized if it's an issue that's been lasting your whole life. Right. So you have to heal from that trauma first so that it doesn't become an ongoing state of what you think and what you call depression.
Right.
So and it's two separate things. And I wish our community knew more about healing from each versus just labeling it as anxiety or depression or just.
If this podcast ended right now, I just learned something. Like if this was the end of the show,
Right.
like I just picked something up. I had no idea there's a difference between healing from depression and healing from trauma. Because when I went to go get help, it was a mixture of both.
Yeah, and so a lot of times, and so I'm glad you gained some. I'm gonna shoot you my Cash App so you can show me how much you love me. You know what I'm saying? In case you wanted to just boom, boom.
Oh, you want my Cash App so I can bless you?
I'm gonna give it to somebody. I'm gonna pay it forward.
I'm still hurting, Jay.
Yeah,
I'm still hurting. Like,
I got you.
You can still help me.
got you. I'll say this. Typically, you'll have the trauma.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, all right, so we're gonna go deeper. So let me hit surface. You have trauma. The pain from the trauma keeps you in a dark place, which is what brings you to the depression because you're focusing on the past and whatever happened, the inequalities, the insufficient, you don't feel good enough, somebody hurt you, somebody violated you, they took advantage of you, they break your heart. That trauma now has you in a state of depression. Well, we don't realize it, but when people's watching Fox News and CNN and MSNBC, not only was they dealing with loved ones that was passing from the virus, they weren't able to go to the grocery store. Go to the grocery store, but they weren't able to go to ball games and parks and stuff like that. They weren't able to be as social. When a loved one passed, people was doing Zoom funerals. You know what I'm saying? You ain't be able to go to baby blessings and weddings,
That's fact.
and all that pain, and then you're watching the numbers rise. That can be traumatic. 100,000 deaths, 200,000 deaths, 1.2 million. That's traumatic. But then you mix everything that's happening with the pandemic and the folks quarantining and the virus, and then you look at the social unrest.
Yeah.
I don't be watching them videos.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But
I
when I saw George Floyd, I got hooked and was mesmerized. I'm thinking like, surely he's gonna let him up. I'm like minute 2, minute 3, minute 4, minute 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm thinking like, yo, this is sick. And that's traumatic. And so now when the news shows it over, I told one of my homeboys who struggled from depression, he one of my OGs. I said, bro, kill the news. He's like, I gotta stay updated with the virus. I said, you don't, bro.
No, you don't.
Log in, Washington Post.
Yeah.
You can look it up, CDC. You ain't gotta watch that all day long. Ain't nothing that happening that quick.
No.
We're
You know
addicted
what I'm
to
saying?
stress.
And so it's like, that's the stuff that continues to trigger
and
us.
there's also trauma addiction. Like you have to see it for yourself. You cannot keep seeing these things for yourself because what you're doing is you're damaging your spirit.
Yeah,
you're
sick.
damaging the avenues to your soul. And more than anything, we need to protect the avenues to our soul.
Right.
And so it's like you keep watching these things. It's like, okay, well, I got to see it to believe it. I got to see it to believe it. No, you don't.
Nah.
You know what's happening.
Nah. Just like when there's a shooting, it's like people want to lock in. It's almost like, man, this is better than, and nobody wants to see somebody pass, but there's something sick like in the mind, man. That's why the word says, think whatever is true, whatever is holy, whatever is pure, whatever is noble, whatever is kind. Like, that's really what's helped me throughout my mental health journey is really trying to govern what I put in my brain, you know what I'm saying, what I put in my body, like what I allow my eyes to see, because that thing can mess me up.
It can mess you up, yes.
So, and so I don't want to go too far, but I'm glad and proud of you, bro, for you realizing, man, this sucks. And, we talk about the DISC assessment, and you're a high I, just like me.
Yeah.
Very outgoing, very gregarious personality. And when you
Mm-hmm.
can't connect with the people,
It's tough.
and then you seeing people passing, your loved ones, work is weird, you're not able to travel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you was like a bird, bro. You was all over the globe.
Bro, and it becomes natural to me. Like, and traveling for work still feels different than traveling for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Traveling for work is, okay, I got to get these routes down, and then as a reward, I get a hotel later on as a break, and I get to unwind, reset, and then after 4 or 5 days, I get to go home and do it all over again after I take my days. When I'm resting for myself, I'm choosing where I'm going. I put myself in the environment. I get a chance to see the things that make me happy, that make me appreciate life, that make me more intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those things work together. So,
and you're also not on a schedule.
and I'm not on the schedule.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
when
you can be
quarantine
free.
happened, they told me, they gave us the option. They was just like, you can take off for up to 90 days. And basically by people who were more senior at my job, voluntarily taking off for that amount of time that was offered, it gave people that were junior a chance to keep their job.
Mm-hmm.
So what a lot of people done, because a lot of people were scared about it, it was like, oh, I'll spend time with my family, I'll do that. And I knew how afraid my family was. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to spend more time with them. That'll be a relief to them because they worried about me flying anyway. I'll sit and relax for a little bit. And it was like the best thing in the world. I was like,
Did you get paid for that?
So we get we got unemployment from
Yeah.
that, which actually
Okay.
was good last
Okay,
year too.
yeah.
So it wasn't unemployment wasn't bad, especially to sit still. But it started off as something I was excited about. After about week 2 of sitting still and not doing nothing, I was just like, okay,
Yeah,
I need to be productive.
Yeah,
Right.
Like I got to start
around.
moving.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that option. It's just I felt it in me.
You know, somebody told me when the pandemic first hit, they was just like, "Yo, man, Jeremy, you should do a motivational speech and talk about how the pandemic is gonna bring out the best in us." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." Then when I thought about it, I said, "Is the pandemic really gonna bring out the best in us, or is the pandemic gonna already show us what's inside of us?" You feel me? Like, is it gonna really just all of a sudden make me, or is it gonna make me rise to the occasion? You feel me? And so I don't believe that the pandemic just all of a sudden said, okay, people are gonna switch gears. I believe people got exposed.
Wow.
Educators got exposed to be the creatives that they are. You know what I'm saying? Like tech people got exposed to be super creative. You know what I'm saying? People in the food industry, like people had to be creative and be progressive to make adjustments. I know
crazy.
5 to 6 multimillionaires now that we'll be having on the podcast throughout this season that was working for other companies, but they were forced into greatness.
Yeah.
They were literally in positions where things was not working out for them.
Yeah.
They got let go by their jobs and was like, man, let me use my gifts, my talents, my skills, and now they ain't working for nobody. I know people right now that's making 6 figures a year because they say, you know what, you're gonna take this from me. I'm not gonna put my destiny in your hands no more. And so that right there is different. And so I don't think necessarily that the pandemic brought out the best in us. I think it showed us what was already inside of us, but sometimes you gotta be forced.
I mean, I think that's true for some people. For other people, it's like it brought out the worst in them.
Facts.
And for other people, it's like it brought out the creativity in it for sure, because they had to get creative with how they was gonna make their money stretch.
Facts.
Because, you know, the government didn't supply much, but the people was like, I still have to make a living. I still have to take care of my kids.
Right.
I don't have a job. You know, unemployment only does so much, and they have a big family. So it forced them to be, I think, more creative with how they bring in the money, or more creative with how they actually feed their families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's situation, that's a good point you brought up. Everybody's situation is unique. Because some people just like, I literally know people that's like, yo, I hate the fact that so many people lost their lives. Yeah. But they're like, but this was the best year of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But then
that's
I know
true.
people that's like, the extreme opposite.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, this was the worst year of my life.
Yeah.
I lost my husband, I lost my wife, or I lost my child, or I lost my parents, and I lost my job, and I lost my home. Like, it's crazy.
But
you know what I'm saying?
it brought everything to the surface, though. That's one thing you can't deny.
Definitely.
The pandemic brought everything to the surface.
Right.
It's like you're gonna have to deal with it.
Right. And just like just to show you how extreme everybody's situations can be, there are some couples that realize, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Like there's some married couples. My man was thinking like, I miss working 50 hours a week. I gotta be here with you all day long. But then you got some people like me that's blessed. And and my wife fine. She bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm blessed to be around my wife all the time.
Yeah.
And y'all blessed.
And I love and I love my kids. Now that was hard. You know what I'm saying? Because my kids got the juice, boy. You know what I'm saying? So when that school opened up, I was like, we give you all the glory. Praise God.
I get it. And y'all also blessed with space and opportunity.
Yeah.
Think about the people that was in the 1-bedroom apartments looking at each other.
Perspective. All right. I'm convicted.
You on top of each other all day.
I'm convicted.
Y'all can't go out the house.
We got
you
a
gotta
little
wear
space.
a mask.
We got a little space here.
You at stay-at-home order, and you just looking at each other in this 1-bedroom home, 1 bathroom, and you like, I can't even go to the bathroom without having to see you.
Convict me like that.
So I'm saying we gotta talk about both ends of the spectrum.
Right, but here I am complaining.
Yes.
About my 2 kids, and there's some folks that have 4 or 5 kids
in one house, and they have to be teachers, they have to be at work, and they have to do it all at the same time.
I'm the worst. Now all the thumb down that this video gonna get, and everybody that's listening that's gonna write a bad review, show me some grace. Right. They finna be like, Jeremy out of touch. Don't do that. No.
You're not out of touch. You are just living at a level that people, are aspiring to get to. But these people are on their way to the next level. You at the next level.
Keep rocking with this
going.
podcast.
You still going.
I promise we're gonna get you there.
It's some people that you ain't reached that yet.
Yeah.
That's
wow, we
real.
got to figure this out.
Yo, that's
Yeah. I feel convicted though.
You feel
Because when you talk about perspective, like everybody got a
Perspective.
different perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all, I'm gonna say it now, but you'll hear me say it again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I believe like, yo, there are some things that we complaining about somebody else is praying for.
Yes.
So think about all the
And
people
some people couldn't have kids.
Yeah, that's complaining about these
Some
kids getting on
people
my
can't-
nerves.
yeah.
But think about the people who can have kids.
Yes,
Or
people
think about the
have-
people who love me who lost their children.
Yeah.
Or complaining about their spouse. I can't stand him. Let me tell you something. Like, there are some husbands that wish their wife would come to the door with the attitude one more time.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? This car,
Amen.
I need me a new car. It's people just in Atlanta jumping on the martyr
Yeah.
or trying to bum a ride. I can't stand this job. Well, 6 months ago, you was praying for this job.
Yeah.
And there's somebody else praying for the very position you're complaining about.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? And so I felt convicted. I remember sometimes I was complaining about some stuff and God was like, oh, okay. Well, there's somebody about 2 miles away that's praying for this position.
Yep.
Why are you sitting here complaining about it?
Yep.
And so
willing
I
to
just
do
think that
whatever to get it.
perspective. Huh?
And willing to do whatever to get it. Why are you taking days off? They want to do whatever it takes to put them in that position.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think that's to what fuels me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's somebody always coming to take my spot. You know, as a speaker, as a husband, as a father, like I want to be the best I can be.
But it's good that you're humble though. Like you're not about to say, "Oh, I'm above this." Like you're above certain things in a sense because you're not going to settle, but you're not above like understanding other people's circumstances, and that's what makes you so like relatable and special.
Right,
You're actually going to be like, "Let me take a pause and let me reflect on what it is that maybe I am out of touch with." You know, and that's very important because as you grow, you always want to reach back and always want to like make sure people are, you know, understanding what you're saying and you're not too far, you know, ahead.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm curious. While we compliment you for that, because that's definitely absolutely true. But what is it? What goes into you being the same person in terms of reachable? You know what I'm saying? How are you able to be accessible still, even where you are now?
When you say accessible, you mean like
So many people still have access to you. You still show love to people from before too that may not have anything in common with you where you are now. Like, what allows you to still make them feel special or them feel heard when they reach out or whatever? Or
so
when they see
remember
you?
the call I had yesterday
Which one?
in the truck.
Because you know you get 37 calls in 30 minutes. No, and I'm talking about he's answering the calls
No, that's
and responding to everybody. Like,
I tried. Last time I checked, I was at 432 text messages.
Oh,
I
no.
always stay between 300 and 400. I don't even want to think
Why?
about it. It's a lot.
It just take a lot of
be
energy
hitting
to
me.
respond to text.
And
huh?
I can't do them all.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. But I'll say this though, I want to try to. I'm big on mental health,
okay.
so I'm always going to make sure I'm in a decent space. I'm always going to make sure that I'm doing okay within me. But I do try to connect to people. I still got the same number I had when I was in college.
That's crazy.
I've literally had the same
Wow.
number since '99.
That's crazy.
I just aged myself here. You know what I'm saying? But I still got like that same number. I know exactly what you was thinking, but we'll bring up that joke later.
Oh, you already know.
I'm a
Let me
ninja.
talk to it,
I'm a
Jay. Let me
ninja.
talk to it. I'm sorry, y'all.
So we got an
It's a
ongoing
little-
joke.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike's
we
been
gonna
trying
get to it.
Mike, for the longest, Mike's been trying to figure out Crystal's age, and I think it's so hilarious.
Y'all, and it wasn't even a big deal at first. It wasn't a big deal until she told me no. Like, hold on.
Because you
That's
asked
not-
me
that's-
my age, and I was like, why am I going to tell you my age? Like, why? Why would I tell you my age?
So he done tried everything from 36 to 34 to 40 to 22. I just
Absolutely.
be sitting here laughing.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I'm-
I'm everything in between, just.
and
all
I-
of that. It
I
don't
just want
matter.
to let y'all know
Yeah.
we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Like,
So-
I don't know.
I
I don't know
think
what's
so.
the big secret.
think
Like
so.
for me, I didn't care as much until I realized that she cared too much.
yeah.
And now I'm
I just
now-
think it's irrelevant. I just,
Now-
it's
now-
not,
now I
I don't
wanna
care
figure it
about
out.
it. And it's just like, it
come
doesn't
up.
matter. It doesn't matter. It's
So
It's
on
irrelevant.
age,
I want to find out though.
irrelevant.
But I'm gonna.
it's gonna slip out. You guys just.
It's not, it's
tap
actually
in.
not.
It might not.
Had a
So
lot
I
of training
think-
in this area.
I think for me,
Okay. So people out there,
If you Google it,
Everybody
it's
watching the
like
show?
you'll get any age between 12 and like 58,
yeah.
99
We'll figure it out.
even.
so basically this is her
Google it.
openly telling us she
and
can't be
hella
trusted.
mature. Being
Yeah.
around the world and like she's experienced a lot of life. You know
Except
what I'm
she's experienced everything except birthdays.
saying? You stupid.
Right?
Nah, I
So
experienced
that's what I
those. I live up my birthdays. You just ain't gonna have my numbers up there. That's what you're not going to. Don't bring no big aluminum numbers that say my age. Why would you do that?
Actually, the last. I'm not even gonna say
Don't.
it. Okay. So look, to answer your question.
Jay, you got information?
No, he
Yeah, I
does
do.
not.
And you've been holding out?
I'm just going, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, this is very
Women deserve the right.
I'll make a deal. If you tell me Crystal's real age, I will not put it out in public. But
I'll tell you after the show.
Say less.
He's
That's
not going to tell
cap.
you.
Oh, I'm about to
He
say.
fell for it too. He's like, say less.
I can fall for it because if I don't get it, then y'all gonna hear me right back here round 2.
Well, we'll see.
We'll do
Let me
it
answer your
again.
I guess
question
that's
before
what's
we
gonna
wrap. For me, I try to connect with people as much as possible. When we were at the airport, my man just hit me.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I met this dude years ago. You know what I'm saying? Had a smooth relationship. We weren't buddy, but he was a great guy.
Right.
I connected with him, poured into him, ministered to him where I was staying in touch. And then, you know, you kind of, you excel, you grow, and you can't connect with as many people. And my man was like blowing me up. And I realized, like, I've been missing this call. And I was like, let me tap in with him and found out that he must have got jammed up and just got out of prison.
Wow.
And was like, yo, man, just want you to know I still love you. Thank you for being there for me when I needed you. And just want to let you know I'm doing better now. I see all the stuff you're doing. I love it. I was like, man, praise God. I prayed with him. You know what I'm saying? Had to get off the phone to keep it moving.
And but this is the thing. You had that heart-to-heart with this gentleman, and then right after talking to somebody who had just got out of prison, hadn't spoken to him for a while, had the same admiration and respect for Jeremy, somebody else calls right after, showing him his new Rolls Royce that he just got. I'm talking about how you go from the pen to the next call. Somebody's like, oh, check this out. This is what the business is doing, da-da-da-da. We got to celebrate this. Jay, we got to do it.
All walks of life.
And I'm sitting here on the other side. You know when you see something that's like crazy, you try to keep your cool, like, yeah, I mean, I'm used to seeing whatever Jeremy used to. And then, no, I ain't. Like, bro, that was crazy.
Hey, but not any Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
It was the Cullinan.
Oh.
We do got to highlight
So,
that.
like, again, is it available for dinner? Because I'm trying to pull up.
Right. And he was like, yo, I'm having a whole release. And I was like, I can't make it. But right after that, I got a call from, I won't name her name. It started with a C.
Yeah.
Her grandmother just died.
Yeah.
So I had to pray for her and minister to her.
Yeah.
This while doing business deals and driving across the city.
Yeah.
And he's driving. Jay is driving. And so it makes sense when people say, like, Jay, you really need a driver. Like, you need somebody driving you around.
Bro, that's my
because
gift for 22
bro,
too.
you work so much. Like, I don't know how I just told you I couldn't even remember the 2 things to respond with my ADHD. I don't know how you're getting so much stuff done while moving around, picking us up, scooping us. Like, people in your position wouldn't even come pick me up from the airport. Like, my bro was like, heck nah, bro, I'm coming to get you. And I'm just like, Jay, I can Uber to you. Bro, no, I'm coming to get you, bro. And I'm like,
no.
All right, man.
You didn't want to Uber
consistent.
to him. Just trust me on that
Oh.
I still feel bad. I still feel bad.
There's so much underlying stuff that we got to put
still
y'all
feel bad
game
about
with.
that.
Like, do you want to get this out your system? Like, did you have a tough time getting over to the crib yesterday?
It was a little bit of a tough time. Yes, it was.
And you know what? I want you to briefly share, and then I'm gonna share a healthy spin.
All right.
Because I think this is gonna help some people.
All right.
But I'm gonna save my part. Go ahead. And
Okay.
First off, let me just say I should have sent a driver to pick you up. Let me just say that. This is my precious cousin. She flew in from LA. You know what I'm saying? Y'all feel me? She flew in from LA. I should have definitely had a driver pick her up. And I was gonna pick you up. But
my flight was delayed,
and then I had to speak virtually.
Yeah, he had to speak.
I know when you asked me how was the ride, and I was honest with you.
Oh, she didn't respond. She sent me a picture.
Oh, that was her response?
Bro, the car was so... You know what I told her? I was like, yo, pull over.
He was like, pull over, get out. I was like, I cannot.
Yeah, I still cash my man out.
Right.
But I'm going to have a black
but
to pick you up.
Yeah, facts.
Listen, this man's car would look like it had been in several accidents.
Inside and out.
Inside and out. It looked like he was on his 15,000 Uber ride, and it looked like he hadn't cleaned it since the first one.
When I saw that car, I instantly thought of the Bible story of Jonah when he was swallowed by a whale. You know why? Because I have a very vivid imagination. I was just like, this must have been what it looked like living on the inside of a whale for 3 days. Like, you eat little fish, there's minnows, there's all kind of sea stuff. Like, that's what I saw all over the floor.
This man said, you know what? I need to get gas, so we're going to go right here to the racetrack.
He didn't get gas while using the car?
Yes.
You lying.
Yes.
I didn't even hear that part.
Bro, I told Crystal.
Wait, what? That was your stop right there.
I said, get out the Uber right now. I'll have another one pick you up. You know what I'm saying? But then by then, she had some conversations with him and knew that he was already going
He pulled a
through some stuff.
heartstring.
Yeah. This
And
man
then, because
said,
I'm still a little hot. So I'm like, all right, when y'all get here, I'm going to check my man. But I was thinking like,
and I said, no, don't do that.
He going to know where I live. And then the
yeah.
spirit fell upon me. But go ahead and share your piece.
Yeah, no, this man had been through so much. He had like a heat stroke, and then his eyes got turned inward. Then he had to have eye correction surgery, and then he had 3 like heart replacements, and he had to start like doing dance in order to like get his equilibrium back together.
Wow.
And I was like, man, this car is dirty. But I know this man has a strong testimony. And I'm just going to stay here because I know that if I were to leave, I would feel like a terrible human being, knowing that he's been through so much. And I'm sitting up here like knowing that I don't want to ride in this car because it's so filthy. But to choose myself over making sure that this man doesn't have any other health issues as a result of me hopping out the car. I was like, I'm not going to choose myself. I'm going to choose this man because he needs this more than I do.
That's next level.
And so that's where I was. That's why I was telling you, don't go off of it. Don't say nothing to this man. Like, he's been through enough.
Wow. Let me be clear.
Yeah.
When we talk about like next level living in Q, we talked about this. We not saying we at the pinnacle of next level. It's the constant pursuit.
Yes.
And sometimes we fall in and out of it.
Yeah, you do.
And for a hot second, check out the oxymoron. For a hot second, I was on some, man, I want my cousin to have that next level. I should have sent like a black Suburban to get you.
Yeah.
And God was like, nah, son, she on her next level.
Yeah.
Which is why I sent this guy here with a banged up car, junky, dirty, but that had all these heart issues and all these eye issues and heat strokes so that you and your presence could minister to him.
That's crazy.
So he was like, she on assignment.
So,
she finna be in luxury for the next couple of days. She ain't got to worry about nothing. But in this moment here, I need her to be a blessing to him.
Because I put him at peace. He was too worried about like having to get gas. And he was just like, I've been through so much. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, I'm glad you're here today. And I felt like he needed to hear those things.
Yeah, you got a calming spirit anyway.
Yeah.
He should have paid you.
You know what? For real.
You know what, Jay? It's levels to it.
Yeah.
And I started to hit like that little 5%. I'm like, man, let me give him 30% tip.
Let me give him 30%.
I was like, let me bless him.
Yeah.
But that's deep.
But it just, it felt like it was a calling for a reason. I've never been in an Uber that bad. Never in my life. But it was a reason why I was there.
Man, I'm
and
sorry.
So,
it's
like
crazy.
Spiritually, I felt like it was on another level that I was called to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was.
That's dope.
It's next level, not even just like, externally, internally, it's important too.
Absolutely.
Because you have to get to a point where no matter what you're in, you still feel like, you know what, I can thrive in this. I can thrive in any environment I'm put in because your mind is on the next level.
That part.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'll share later or go into more details, but my first time in India, I was in the Yagari Hills. And I was there to speak. But that type of experience had me humble, had me grounded. But I had to have like that mental strength. You know what I'm saying? Like that mental strength to like lock in, like, okay, I'm gonna be able to get through this. It's not as comfortable as I like. It's not what I'm used to. But I gotta do what I gotta do to execute the mission. And so I kind of think about what you had in that experience. You was like, you know what, I'm gonna be okay. Yeah. When I leave here, I got a great life in Cali. I'm finna be in Atlanta with my cousin and my people for the next couple of days. My man's still here going through the struggle. I'm gonna let my energy expute upon him. And there are times when I'm on that same mission, but I gotta be coherent. That's why in the morning I be praying, Mike, like, man, God, help me to catch that moment. Because there's been times I'll be having a great day. And I'll go in the store or something to check out, and homegirl got an attitude. And the weak Jeremy, when I'm not thinking about it, the weak me would be like, what you got an attitude with me for? I'm a child of the king. Like, don't miss me with that negative energy. And God be like, son, you so weak. Yeah. I placed her in your position. Greater is he that's in me. I need you to speak life. I need you to be encouraging to her. I need you to speak love. I need for her to leave from you and to feel changed. So I need you to use that same charisma, that personality, you know what I'm saying, to put a little smile on her face, to give her a word of encouragement. You know what I'm saying, to let her know she ain't gonna always be here, beep, beep, bagging stuff like there is greater things that you have in store. You on some how she make you feel, but I'm on some how you gonna make her feel. And so sometimes we got next level living. It's like, okay, I got to take myself out of it because it's not about me. It's about the other person.
It's not. And we are outlets. You know that, right?
Talk about
We
it.
are outlets. People have to plug into us
Talk
to
about
be
it.
re-energized.
Talk about
Now,
it.
if we meet somebody that's not energized, they battery on dead, and we telling them like, you on dead, we preaching to the choir. They need our outlet in order to plug in to re-energize.
So you saying they plug into us.
They plug into us.
And then we gotta plug into God.
Now they can give us some trash. Again, they can give us a dead battery, and we're like, I'm not messing with this dead battery. You came to me dead, but that's not our job. Our job is to refill. Our job is to re-energize. Our job is to shine that light that we have, so that they can leave feeling better than they came with.
Right.
And
that's
so,
that greater is in me. That's it. Way greater is he that's in me than he that's in you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we gotta help them. You said replenish. You said recharge.
Yeah.
She said renew.
Plug
you know what
in.
I'm saying? Rejuvenate.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of those.
But in that same breath, we then have to make sure that we do it for ourselves.
And that's where people go wrong.
Yes.
That's where people go wrong. People will serve, but it's like we have to come back and retreat. Tracy struggles with that. Tracy will bend over backwards and do anything and give until she just disappears. So my mental health coach, Dewan, my man's like, yo, bro, you gotta watch your girl because she's got such a big heart.
Yeah.
She will bless so many people. So you gotta make sure you protect her and you set up boundaries, but also making sure she take care of herself.
Yep.
It's the
That's
boundary
very
part.
important.
That's
The
it's
boundary.
the boundary for me.